All right, fuck it. We'll do this live. Welcome to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike. Tonight I'm joined by Nathan's Armory.
And aka sheepdogleather.com for your holster needs and every second matters holsters.
Yes, the official sponsor of Hit or Miss.
Yeah, that's a good point. I am the official sponsor, aren't I? You, sir, I'm mailing you a green screen.
Yeah. Oh boy. Shit. Uh,
And Smeggy's here too. Jesus.
yeah. I'm. My
Thanks,
screen just locked up. Anyways, yes, I'm also joined by Smeggy tonight as well. I might throw a couple links out there if people want to join in, but I'm trying to keep it uniform tonight. My topic, I'm not going to do a State of the Union address on the president because he doesn't need any more attention than the shit he's got already. And honestly, he's not going to say anything we want to hear. We all know this. So we're not talking about him tonight. He can go crash in Air Force One for all I care. I'm not a fan of the Democrats. Period. All right? But tonight, I think we're going to broach the topic of gun control. We're not going to specifically just go out and talk all about it. We're going to talk about a couple other things that, I saw in the news and I wanted to mention. But primarily the chat is going to be about, about gun control and I guess the hypocrisy of it. And yes, I use hypocrisy because the fact is, all the Democrats want to go and call for gun control, but when it comes to who's responsible for crimes that happened, they're nowhere to be found. The Democrats never own up to any crime that they commit, and they only suffer for those crimes if they get indicted or thrown in jail. So, though granted that could be said about all politicians, but lately though it's been the Democrats that have been fucking up more, in my opinion.
Well, hold on. I'm going to have to. I like what you're saying there, but I want to take it to another level. The people causing the most gun violence are the constituents of said Democrats.
Ooh, I don't know if I would go that far. I mean,
Well,
a lot. Some of this violence that's been happening are from people that aren't even from this country. Are you sure they're their constituents?
Well, what I'm trying to say is when we're not looking at the publicized mass shootings, we're looking at the fact that on Memorial Day weekend, 10 people get murdered and 50 get wounded in Chicago, where our president was a community organizer. And when we look at, every holiday in Chicago is a bloodbath because the gangbangers are shooting people, and that's the hometown of our president. And what is he doing about that? Do you want to know what he did? You know what our president does about his hometown of Chicago? He tells
Indiana.
He tells the federal prosecutors not to go in and pursue federal gun crimes against the people in Chicago, LA, and New York. So it's like he's ignoring the problem. He's pretending it doesn't exist. So he leaves it to Cook County in Chicago. Guess what? Cook County, I read today, they had to lock down the prison in Cook County because they didn't have enough officers showed up because so many called in sick or on vacation. Had to lock down the prison for skeleton crew in Cook County.
Wow. And this goes back to my point that, they don't want to take responsibility. Sure, when something good happens or when something, when something is favorable, sure, they take all the fucking credit, even if they weren't even responsible for it. But when something bad happens, they don't want to be held accountable for anything. They want to just skirt by.
You mean like how Obama took credit for our low crime rate?
Oh, yeah, our low crime rate.
When what's her face was like, Mr. President, we
Miss
have
Kyle.
more guns than we've ever had before, and crime rates been going down. And he's like, well, yes, crime rate has gone down during my presidency. It's like, dude, you can't take credit for that shit.
No,
It was going down before you. It'll probably be going down after you, and it's got nothing to do with anything you did.
We're not going to go and talk about all his failings because, granted, I could do a whole show about that. I mean, and I don't want to sound like Alex Jones, okay? Because we know Alex Jones. We don't want to talk about him too much. But yeah, there's a lot wrong with the president, and I can't wait until he leaves. I absolutely can't wait. Anyways, though, I wanted to point this out as I've seen this, occurring. I've seen a lot of different news articles, the past couple of weeks, and it's kind of irked me. You know how a lot of the Democrats more often are calling for gun control, and they're calling to take away guns from upstanding American citizens that haven't done a single thing wrong, and saying that their guns are directly responsible for all the murder, the death, the mayhem that happens in our culture, in our country. Well, the past couple articles I've read, and even one that was on TV, the guns have not come from being stolen from the average individual, the average legal citizen, has not been stolen from a gun store. A lot of those guns weren't black market guns. They were guns that were stolen by law enforcement officers. So yeah, they want to claim and cry gun control, but when it comes down to it, the fact of the matter is they can't control guns being stolen from their own people.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had to go get my anchor baby out of the tub. Where were these guns stolen from?
I'm not trying to proclaim or give those religious extremists any newscasting, but the fact is they that one where that guy shot that cop 6 times in the arm, his gun was stolen from law enforcement.
But was it stolen from a single cop, or was it stolen from an evidence room? Was it stolen?
They said it was a stolen from law enforcement, so I would assume that it was stolen from another officer.
Well, so that's the question is, okay, let me state this. So they traced the gun back to stolen officer. So was it, and stolen from law enforcement is very vague term, which could mean that it was stolen out of the evidence room by cops and then sold back onto the street. It's possible.
It's possible, but
the other possibility is it was stolen out of. Well, when would an officer not have his gun on his person? I mean, they didn't say it was stolen from a dead cop, so that didn't happen. They didn't say that it was stolen from an officer's vehicle, because you don't keep your pistols in the vehicle as backup and leave them behind. So really, stolen from law enforcement really only means that it was taken out of an evidence room by a damn dirty cop, is what I'm thinking.
And
it could have been stolen from his house. I mean, a lot of cops, they won't carry, their full-size gun off duty, so they'll keep their stuff. Or do they just not even take it at home?
They wouldn't set a gun stolen from law enforcement if it was the private property of a police officer and it was simply stolen in a burglary. They just say, yeah, it was a stolen gun he had. The fact that they said stolen from law enforcement meant it was somehow related. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't think they would say that if it was stolen out of someone's house. It had to have been a police pistol that got stolen somehow. Or evidence.
Well, here's another example. Remember last year in one of those haven cities, apparently that one guy who was let loose, who shouldn't have been let loose, used a stolen gun from another law enforcement officer to go and kill that woman?
What, wasn't it like an ATF agent or an FBI agent or something? I thought it was some.
No, I think it was I think it was a wildlife preserve agent.
Oh.
But still, they're allowed to carry guns. But the fact is that guns are being stolen from law enforcement to go and commit crimes instead of being taken from the black market, like the president says, or from the people. That says something. If they are getting so hit up to take guns from law enforcement, and the politicians are not doing anything to prevent it, then they're only adding to the problem, not taking away.
Guns and drugs vanish from evidence rooms in all the inner city departments across this country.
Oh, I know.
Cops need money, so they put them back out on the streets and they make a profit.
Yeah, but that's corruption. And instead of trying to go after guns and take the guns away from the American citizen, they should be going after those dirty cops. They should be going after those corrupt individuals in law enforcement that let those guns slip through the cracks and get into the hands of dangerous individuals. Instead of calling for gun control, take it away from the people.
Can I speak to the? It's funny you're on this topic because I just put out an hour ago a video called "The Myth of Gun Control," or "Gun Control is a Myth" is what I put it at. Okay, fluctuating. Gun
sure,
control.
Go for it.
Okay, so let me ask y'all: what is the purpose of gun control? What is the number one point in gun control? I mean, what would they define?
The actual point, or what they say the point is?
Okay.
I would say a call for attention.
Okay, let me switch on. Okay, the point of gun control is to keep guns out of the hands of criminals, hypothetically, right? I mean,
right.
That would be the number one reason to say we need gun control. Keep it out of the hands of the wrong people.
We would hope.
Is there any major city in the United States where you cannot illegally obtain a firearm with ease? Or drugs? Is there a single one that you can even think of where you can't get a gun? You can get a gun in New York, you can get a gun in LA, you can get a gun in Chicago, you can get a gun in Texas, you can get a gun in Houston, or
yeah, but that's all Indiana's fault.
Nashville. But yeah, Indiana's to blame for everything. That's a whole other subject. But the point is that, okay, well, let's bring up Indiana. That's a very good point, Smeggy. Of the guns used in crimes in Chicago, 60% of them are from outside of Chicago, which nobody ever points out. 40% are from inside Chicago used in crimes. 60% are from outside Chicago. Of said 60%, 20% are from Indiana. Now, hold on. So what is 20% of 60%? Like what? About 10%? 12%? So in the city of Chicago, of all the crimes committed with guns, 12% of those guns came from Indiana.
It's better than them saying all the. It's better than them saying all the guns on the East Coast come from South Carolina. You heard that too, right?
They pick the closest state and point out the fact that it has the highest thing, but there's 50 states. And the funny thing is so 12% of the guns used in crimes in Chicago come from Indiana. That's a neighboring state. That's to be expected. The proximity will increase that. Do you know, like, even a state further away, Texas probably isn't too far off, or one of the other southern states as far as trafficking is concerned? As far as it's concerned, next they're going to be saying the heroin in Chicago that is shot up into people's arms is mostly from Mexico. Big whoop. And then the other half is from Colombia. It doesn't matter. It's a supply-demand issue. And obviously, it's not that big of a problem because if only 12% of the guns in Chicago are from a neighboring state and the rest are spread over the other 50 states, it obviously isn't anything to do with Indiana's gun laws that's an issue. It's just the fact of proximity.
So
and let's face it, the handguns. Anyway.
So Mike, you there? And he joined us late.
Go ahead.
You were mentioning the problems in Portland. How bad is the gun control and the crime rate in Portland?
there's not very much crime, and I mean, I can go in and buy a gun and be out in 20 minutes. I don't see like any real push in Portland. I mean, at the state level, I think there's a couple of things they want to. Okay, they passed private sale background checks. That's a new thing this year, which pissed me off. So for a private sale, I have to go to an FFL, go through all the paperwork, pay them the money, and so that's the biggest thing that they've done to us, I would say, in quite some time.
Does Oregon have a registry of any sorts?
I don't think so. I go in and fill out the same form, 2 thumbprints, and out the door.
Oh, whoa, thumbprints? They're thumbprinting you now?
They've done that ever since I've ever bought a gun for over 10 years.
Wow, I don't have to give my thumbprints when I buy a gun.
Left and right thumbprint and social security number, address, the same whatever 10, 15 questions it is.
Right.
I don't think it's that big.
Basically like the 4473, but on a state level or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 4473, but maybe I don't know.
Well, it could be. It's just they added the thumbprint thing. That's not.
Did you fill out a form and then get thumbprinted?
Yeah, my thumbprints are on that form.
I don't think the 4473 has a spot to put the thumbprints on. Maybe that's a Portland thing or an Oregon thing. Anyway.
And they just took that normal form and then just added the thing.
I'm sure the government would have a problem with that.
But it goes, they call the state number and they talk to whoever, run my numbers, and I'm out the door. I mean, I don't have a waiting period or anything like that.
I don't believe that's right.
I believe that they have their own version of the 4473 they keep on file, and because it was more stringent than the government form, it was allowed.
So none of you have ever given any fingerprints?
No.
Well, hold on.
Not to buy a gun.
No, not to buy a gun.
In the state of Texas, not a concealed, I've been saying that for 11 years, as a handgun licensed carrier, I have given my fingerprints when I got my handgun license, right? So they're on.
See, I don't have a handgun license.
So I have a handgun license, so my fingerprints are on record. Here's the cool part, is whenever I go in, I fill out a 4473, but I don't have a NICS check run against me. So as far as the federal government is concerned, besides the fact they're watching this video, I haven't bought a gun since 2001. They have no record of 30 firearms I've purchased and sold since.
That's when I got out of high school.
Well, they have the paper record if they happen to go to the gun store and do an audit or something.
Okay, so here's the fact. So they would have to go to Academy, go to Cabela's, go to my private FFL, go to any other gun stores that I visited and bought guns from over the years. I can't even remember them all. I'm just a needle in a haystack. So here's the deal: is unless they come up with a gun in a specific crime, find out where it was sold. So here's the deal. Let's say they find a gun. Let's say they find this blue gun. They go, we got the serial number. We're going to contact CZ. CZ said they sent it to the Academy in Fort Worth, Texas. They go there and say, we need the 4473 for this serial number. So they go and they find it. And they say, okay, you sold this to Nathan 8 years ago. And then they come to my house and they say, Nathan, CZ you bought at Academy 8 years ago was used in a crime. And I'll look at them and go, well, let me see if I can remember who I sold that to help you officers out with. That's what they got.
Daddy.
What?
Will you make when you need to shoot something?
Yeah.
Cut some parts of my gun and my little gun. The little gun. Your little
hold
gun.
on. You want to show the guys your little gun? Hold on,
No.
let me get it.
No, I want you to cut out the little gun, and then you can put bullets in it and shoot some.
This is great.
Hit or miss will be right back.
You guys will really like to see your little gun. Aha! I found it. Okay, so come here, buddy. No, drop the water. Here, Logan, take the water from me. Now, why do you break the cup? Okay. Come here, get in my lap. The guys really want to see this. Okay, so this is my 5-year-old. Okay, show them your blue gun. Yeah.
Oh my God! It's a blue gun. It needs to be banned.
Hold on, it's a Smith & Wesson J frame, and my 5-year-old likes to carry it just like Yankee Marshall.
That's pretty cool.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Here, okay, take that and say, I'm Yankee Marshall Jr. Yeah. He loves that little blue gun, that little 38.
Wow.
Does he have a holster for it?
No, not yet, but next time Yankee talks about how great the little 38 J frames are, go, yeah, I know a 5-year-old that loves them.
Awesome. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Mom will kill me if he runs around the house with it. Again.
And Nathan, I like that shirt. I've got one just like it.
Oh yeah, it's a fun shirt.
I support the right to arm bears and bear arms and all sorts of in between.
I just found it humorous and poignant.
Dude, I wear that shirt whenever I go to a gun show, and I always get laughs out of it.
I got a Yoda shirt that has Yoda on it, and he goes, "Trust me, a Jedi I am." And then anytime I go anywhere Star Wars-ish, I wear that, and people love it. Of course, there's a lot of Star Wars memorabilia out right now, so it's not getting the views it did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I could do a Yoda voice, but I won't do it right now. That's only for off-air or during the lobby chats.
Hey, I'm getting better at Star Wars Battlefronts, by the way. I can really start to shoot as a rebel commando now.
You're a rebel? Come on, man. Seriously?
Dude, that's what my kid picked. He's 10.
I'm just
He
kidding.
likes the lowest one tomorrow. Chill out.
I'm just kidding.
On certain things. The only way you could be a stormtrooper is if you do a search and training, or if you do a battle against each other. So if it's me against
Okay, go away.
I like both of that.
Anyway, but it's interesting because it's very hard to control the aiming mechanisms of the weapon. They're way oversensitive when you hit the joystick. But I figured out today that when you do the zoom in with the scope, it slows down your movement so you can actually aim better. And then boom, 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 boom.
All right, we got scope talking here too. I think we got something here. Anyways, what were we talking about again?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about gun control and guns being taken away from law enforcement to be used in crimes instead of being, in the hands of law enforcement.
Okay, so can I do a gun control flashback from a couple days ago with the Jamaican? Were you there for that night strike?
That was my lobby chat.
Okay, so you had the Jamaican.
And then if you watched a few days earlier on a Sunday, I went through, I had a video where I was just asking him questions about it. So, just throwing that out there.
I'll make this quick.
All right.
So we have a Jamaican in the lobby chat or Night Strikes chat, and he's telling us how in America we need to have more gun control. We need to make more laws to control guns. So then G-Webs asks, hey, tell us about how you get a gun in Jamaica since you're a Jamaican gun owner. And he says, well, you got to fill out all these forms and take them down to your municipality and do this, and it takes 1 year to get a gun, and I own 4 guns, 2 pistols and 2 shotguns, I think it was. And I said, so it takes a year to get a gun there? He goes, yeah, and I don't have a problem with it, blah, blah, blah. You Americans need to do that too. And so I said, well, I let some other people talk for a while just to set them up. And then I said, I have a question for you. in May, I went down to Montego Bay on a cruise ship, and when I got off, I noticed that your police officers had submachine guns on straps hung underneath their arms. They carried submachine guns as their weapons. And he goes,
Not
yeah.
submachine.
What?
Not submachine guns. Gasp.
Okay, gasps. Okay, they're bigger than Uzis, smaller than M4s, but machine guns. So they carried those under their arms and stuff. And hold on.
Please bear with us while we experience technical children difficulties.
Yeah, well, you know, man, Nathan's always hit or miss.
Well, you know, it's a good thing, you know, he's starting to join us a little bit because, I mean, that whole Yankee Marshall impression. I don't think I've seen a better Yankee Marshall impression. Right?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, he you know, I'm sure someone will link him at some point. Yankee Marshall's like, I am not impressed. He's not even wearing a Hulk T-shirt. But yeah. We'll wait until he gets back to listen to that. But Smegs, you mentioned you posted something earlier on Gun Channels, and it was an article. What was that about?
Yes. Okay, basically what it was in New York, I just posted the link in Gun Channels on the Hit or Miss chat.
All right.
So if anyone wants to head over there, they can read along. But basically, New York is setting up a special like court just to handle gun cases. So they basically handpicked like a couple of judges, and they'll have their own set of, you know, like police task force and their own prosecutors. And oh man, show full article. Goddamn. Anyways, and basically it all comes down to, there was one quote here that I want to read. It's kind of near the bottom. There we go. Okay. We will get away from this notion that some gun cases are mere possession cases, says Richard Dumbass of some stupid thing. When somebody makes a decision to pick up a gun, that's like a pre-murder case. So they're basically going after people that, I forgot to mention, this court is not going to handle like homicides and stuff. That will still be handled by like whatever normally does it. So basically, these are people that maybe are carrying concealed without a permit, or maybe they have a gun in their car, but you know they don't have a license for it. And it could be an illegal gun, and sure, that's a crime. But the way they're looking at it is, just because the people, you know, have a gun illegally, they're considering all of them murderers, just they haven't murdered yet. So it's like, you know, fuck this idea of innocent till proven guilty. You're guilty before you even commit the crime.
How does that work?
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
I mean, because isn't there some law or something in the Constitution saying you're innocent until proven guilty? Or
yeah,
something
like that. I don't know. I'm not really familiar.
Because I know that's always been the case.
New York City, because they know best for me.
You know, I know that's always been the case here in the United States. That's why we've been so fundamentally different than everyone else in the world, because everyone's innocent until proven guilty, and the rest of the world says you're guilty until proven innocent.
Well, and even that's not the case. This is kind of going off topic, but in the article, I mean, it was interesting to read, but that one quote was kind of what I wanted to bring up. If you all want to read through it, it's, you know, whatever, legal stuff. But, you know, if you look at self-defense cases, a lot of times when you want to use, like, stand your ground, at least in, like, the first part, I don't know what all the legal stuff's called, but, like, before the trial starts, when you're, like, in the pre-part of it, you basically are guilty until proven innocent. And so you need to have more evidence to prove that it was a self-defense thing. And if you do that, then they throw the case out. If not, then they go, okay, nope, you didn't do it. And then you go back to like the regular trial where you're innocent until proven guilty.
Smeggy, I can tell you what that is.
Okay, please do.
Okay, so whenever you defend yourself with a firearm, unless it is blatantly clear that you're in a good state and that you were protecting yourself, but the vast majority of the time it's not that situation, it's gray. So the police will arrest you. They will gather evidence and charges against you. You will bring in a lawyer, and they will get you out on bail. It will then go at some point to the grand jury, and the grand jury will listen to your lawyer's case and the stuff and decide if it should go to trial. So even cops who do good shoots have to have their case reviewed by the grand jury. The only time that you wouldn't, like in Texas, if somebody breaks into your house and you shoot them in your house and they're a known burglar, you have a good chance, if you're in the right part of Texas, to be what is called no build. No build means the officers go, he shot a home intruder, we know he's a home intruder, he broke in at night, we're not going to press any charges against you, you are no build. But outside of that, if you get into a shootout in a parking lot or a grocery store or a 7-Eleven, you will be arrested, you will have evidence gathered against you, and it will be presented by a DA more than likely to the grand jury. The DA can opt not to bother the grand jury with it if it's conclusive enough that he can state, look, this ain't going to make it to trial, I'm not even going to present it to the grand jury.
Well, I thought the grand jury, though, was only the prosecutor. Like, you, as a defendant, you didn't put any evidence or anything. It's only the prosecutor basically says, this is what we have on him, this is my case, and they go, yeah, that sounds about right, go ahead and continue on. And
Well,
what I'm talking about, I know I've heard somebody...
You live in. It depends on the state you live in, but in Texas, the lawyer that defends you gets to present evidence along with the prosecutor. The grand jury reviews both sets of evidence in Texas.
All right, yeah, that's... And I'm not super familiar, I guess, with all this stuff, but I do know I was listening...
Each state is different.
Right. I was listening to some of the guys from, like, Second Call Defense and, I think some of these other, carry organizations and whatnot, and the way they were describing it as to do the self-defense thing, like, you are kind of guilty till proven innocent to get all the protections under, like, Castle Doctrine and Stand Your Ground. But it's, again, it'd be like the grand jury side of it. Once it goes to trial, it's up to the prosecutor to prove that you're guilty.
Okay, so I want everyone watching this video to listen to me very carefully. The job of the cops is to collect evidence to give to the district attorney to prosecute you with. If the cops come to your crime scene where you defended yourself legally and you say certain things and say stuff and you're all hyped up and you're like not in your right mind because you're high on adrenaline and stuff, and you're saying, well, you can't have me, and I shot him, and blah 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 blah. You're adding fuel to your own bonfire at that point. When the cops arrive, where you've defended yourself, you say, I defended myself. Check on him, make sure he's okay. And then they say, well, we'd like your statement. I am not in a good condition to give a statement right now. I need a lawyer, officer. I need to calm down, and I need a lawyer before I give you my statement. So the first thing you should do is exactly what criminals do, is say, I want my lawyer when the cops arrive and you've harmed someone. Not because you're guilty, but because their only job is to collect evidence against you. You understand? Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of the law. And nothing you say that's good will be put there by your statements. The cops don't say, yeah, he seemed very calm. He seemed like a nice guy. He said what happened to this guy, and we believed him. The cops aren't going to say that in court. They only can collect evidence against you for the DA's use. They cannot collect any positive things from you. So if you ever, God forbid, have to defend yourself in a shooting, you cannot give a statement to the police. You have to ask for a lawyer.
Right. Well, and even cops do that when they're involved in a shoot, whether it's a good shoot or not. I mean, the cop union will give them a lawyer, and they normally give the statement, the next day, or you got to give your mind a little bit of time to relax and figure out what the hell just happened.
Yeah, I've also heard it's good in case of a situation where someone's broken into your house and you shot them. It's also good to say, you have to call. You obviously have to call 911 when this happens. You should say someone's been shot in the house instead of saying that you shot someone, because that could also be used against you.
Well, it depends on your state and the way the law works. So in Texas, I can call 911 and say, I have a burglar broken into my house, and they say, what is your condition? Well, I'm fine and my family's fine. What is the condition of the burglar? Well, I defended myself with a handgun and shot to stop him. What is his condition? Well, he's dead on the floor. The point is,
that doesn't go well for you.
No. In Texas, that's cool. In other states, it's not. Texas is cool.
Yeah, but isn't that way too much information that you're giving them?
Yeah.
Well, I shot to stop him. He's down.
Why would you even tell him that much?
I shot to stop him.
Why are you telling an operator that, though?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do in Texas. That's the verbiage. I shot to stop the assault.
But
the
that's
person.
what you tell a lawyer or a cop, not an operator.
Well, it doesn't. It's being recorded, so you have to know the verbiage. I was attacked by a burglar, broke into my house. I shot to stop them. They are down. Send help. Are you okay? Yes, I and my family are okay. So what is the condition of the burglar? He is not moving. He is on the ground. And send
Oh, wait,
help.
hang on. I think he's getting up. Let me go shoot him again.
No, you don't do that. You don't call till you should. But,
And by the way,
again, it's silly that we live in a world. Go ahead, Smitty.
anything I say is not legal advice because I'm normally being a smartass and joking.
Remember, the opinions and views expressed by this panel are that of their own, and you should not use our views or opinions as legal advice whatsoever. Otherwise, I'll drive Smeggy to the courthouse and we'll testify against you.
Or maybe I'll testify on your behalf, because that might be worse. Well, officer, he deserved it. I mean, look at him. He's scary looking.
All right, Nathan, you were talking about something before you left. What were you gonna, finish talking about? Do you remember?
The Jamaica submachine gun thing?
About the submachine guns in Jamaica.
Okay. So the Jamaican guy who told me it takes a year to get a gun in Jamaica, he was telling me how great Jamaican gun control was and how much ours sucked. And I said, well, when I came there on a cruise ship, I saw these cops, they're carrying submachine guns. And he goes, yeah. And I said, why were they carrying submachine guns? And he goes, well, the violent drug dealers we have around here. And I said, okay, so you got violent drug dealers. Do they have guns? Because these guys are carrying submachine guns. And he goes, yeah, they got really nasty big guns. And I said, well, how did they get them if it takes a year to get a gun in Jamaica? And then he's like, we're an island and we have ships coming in and they bring them in and import them and stuff. And I said, you know what? I live on an island. It's just called a continent. But people bring crap into our country all the time that's illegal. So how are your gun control laws more effective than mine if your cops carry submachine guns and mine carry pistols on their hips?
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous that. How do I say this? It's like people buy into this, and I understand it. I understand human beings buy into the idea that we are a higher race, we are an enlightened people, and that if we do certain things, things will be okay. But there's another side that we look through if you're a student of history that says human beings are violent, awful, and have to have laws enforced upon them to not do harm to other people. And so it's kind of a conflict because in our American political system, I'm sorry, is totally ass backwards backed up.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, but okay, so hold on, let me just, two statements. One is, one side likes rich, greedy people and says that they're good, holy people too. So that's screwed up. And then one side says, we're not holy, but we love the impoverished and fight for them.
Now, which side is the one taking guns away?
Again, that is a difficult question because the rich people want the guns taken away from the poor people, and the poor people say they want gun control, but they know that won't take it away from their poor constituents. So, again, it's a bipolar, crazy metric that we live in. Whereas, Night Strike, can I get biblical real quick? Just real quick.
If you must, but keep it short.
Okay.
I'm not promoting it, though.
Killing people is wrong, period, except in the case of self-defense or war, when attacked. That's just a flat statement. Now, if you live your life by that, by no killing unless you're defending your own person or family, or you have to go and fight a war on behalf of your country, if you're attacked, not to go attack, but if you're attacked in defense, only hurting people with a firearm or anything is acceptable if you're attacked. If you lived your life by that motto, it would solve all our problems. But that's not how it is.
It's not. And it is a shame because life would be better off if it was. I mean, every country has a law saying, yeah, murder's bad, don't do it. Period. And if you do, you know, bad shit's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, I want to believe that every religion is like that as well. Don't murder people because it's bad.
You know, Islam is a very beautiful religion.
No, we're not outing them out.
No, I'm not outing anything. They don't believe in just randomly killing people. They believe in prayer and subjugation and all that stuff, and that they're very religious, and they're very good people. Billions of them are good people, as are billions of Christians good people. So I'm just saying that if you follow the religious faith, you are taught you are a good person, typically, and don't harm other people, because the religious faith says don't harm other people. I mean, it's not complicated. And I'm so glad Yankee's not in here because he'd be shitting his pants.
Well, we're not talking about religion itself. We're just saying that, you know, we're just generalizing. And I don't think he would mind so much the generalizing. He just wouldn't agree with the fact that it was religion.
He would go off topic, yeah. And again, atheist, of all the people I've known, atheists are some of the most honest, good people that I've ever met. And they're very intelligent. I've never met a dumb atheist. I've never met a dumbass atheist.
Right.
They're always highly intelligent, and they're good people with high moral standards.
And a couple of my friends are agnostic, and they're good people too. They don't believe in killing people. But
and the funny thing is the atheist and the agnostic, they feel enlightened, that they're kind of better than the rest of us lowly individuals.
But they won't go out of their way to hurt anyone.
But they won't hurt anyone, yeah, no. And they don't cheat on their wives either. Funny thing, the atheists are not as base as the average religious person. It's kind of funny. But again, that they consider themselves morally superior to us, like they're setting a new example or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, right or wrong, it's just they feel like when they're that intelligent, that the rest of us lowly creatures who believe in God and believe in religion are just this little flock below them. So I find that kind of weird, but yeah.
It's what they
Okay.
believe in.
They
All
don't.
right, we're going to
they
step
don't
away from this
think
topic
They
now.
accept their own superiority, is my take on it.
All right. Well, we got a couple people listening, and I know some of you are on the Gun Channel side. I'm seeing if we have anybody on the YouTube side. I don't think we do, but, if we do, cool. I don't see anyone.
Can I read a quote from one of our founding fathers real quick?
Please do, and then I'm going to do a daily patch giveaway.
All right, excellent. Maybe, can I overstep my bounds and say whoever can tell me which founding father said this wins the patch? Is that you cool with that?
But if we don't get a response, I'm just going to pick someone.
Okay, that's fine, that too. All right. Any right that requires you to take measures to access it is no right at all.
Oh, we talked about that the other day.
I got no idea. Was it Ashley Madison?
Something like that.
I know one politician that said it the other day.
I like making Smeggy laugh.
Everybody likes to laugh.
Well, that's good. I like laughing.
Except you are the saddest snowman ever.
I made a brother to that snowman the other day, and it melted when the sun came out.
Smeggy, you got to eat more. You look anorexic as a snowman.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's not bulimic as a snowman?
Are you barfing out ice?
No, more like snow cones. And you heat up maple syrup and pour it on there.
Well, there is a bit of a lag, so if anyone can tell us who said that, then Smeggy on the side chat here in the Google Hangouts, could you tell us what the answer is so that we know who gets it right?
I don't know if I can type in there on my phone. I think you'll know, especially when you figure out that, I was joking.
Just humor me, all right?
I'll try and type in there. I don't know if it'll come through.
Or just do it. Oh, right. Yep.
I'd say just give it to somebody. I was just fucking around, man.
All right. I don't know where the quote is from, and apparently Smeggy doesn't either, even though that was his question. But
I do know where I know where the quote's from.
Where is the quote from originally?
Oh, I don't know about that. Did she steal it from somebody?
She probably did.
What's the quote again?
Let me pull it up so I get it exact right. Damn it. Fuck you, Instagram. Do. So unprepared for this.
Well, that's why we're hit and miss. Or hit or miss. Yeah.
That's true.
We do things OG. Right? Yeah, we got to get a little a DB in there for everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to do a chat called Hit and Hit.
Oh, I don't know.
What about closed group? That sounds gay.
Well, if you've ever seen me shooting, I could do a chat called Miss and Miss. But anyways, okay. Any right that requires you to take measures to access it is no right at all.
Okay. So who originally said that?
When you're talking about a liberal subject, oh no, you anything that you have to take measures to get to it, that's wrong. Poll taxes and different requirements for abortions or whatever, that's wrong. Oh, guns, yeah, totally jump through all those hoops to get them motherfuckers.
All right, I don't remember who said that. So I may just pick someone and go.
Okay, I just Googled that, and Hillary Clinton said it, so send her the patch.
I'm sure she stole it from someone else, but let's see.
She should have stole it from someone else. It was send Hillary Clinton a Every Second Matters patch.
Al says he's never won a patch, and I don't remember Al ever winning a patch, so Al, guess what? Today's your lucky day. Go to gunchannels.com/DPG and ask G-Webs nicely to send you a patch.
And Al, be prepared, because I'm going to report you to Hillary, and she's going to send Secret Service to your house.
To take that patch away.
Take that patch away from you.
But yeah, go get yourself a patch, Al. So, don't say I never, G-Webs never gave you anything.
You're very giving with other people's things.
No, he said I could give patches out.
I know how it works.
I want to start my own show just so I can make a bunch of fake accounts and give the patches to my fake accounts every week.
Well, didn't G-Web send you a bunch of stuff the other day?
It was a while ago. He sent me some things, yeah.
Yeah, so you got some stuff.
I know, it doesn't mean I don't want more stuff. Jesus. Everyone wants, as George Carlin says, you need to buy a bigger house so you can have more shit.
I miss George Carlin. He was funny.
I sent G-Webs a free holster. I need to send him an email back going, dude, where's my video and why don't I have a patch?
Yeah, we need to send him some more stuff so he can go and review it for us, because he reviews guns and stuff.
Has he? Am I wrong? I don't think G-Web's ever put. I sent him. Well,
not so much reviews. He does videos.
He's a busy video man, but he hasn't shown my holster in a single one of them. But oh, damn it, we're live. Anyway,
but we're not judging.
No, I'm just saying it's okay. Let me just say this to everyone out there who's watching this. I made holsters for about 5 or 6 other people who are normally in these video chats and sent them out. And to my experience, only Yankee Marshall gave me a 10-second op-ed on another video he was doing where he just flashed it because he actually appreciated it. Anyway.
That was in a lobby chat. That wasn't in, No,
he made a video where he said, oh, and here's this holster from me. And I got responses from that.
Yeah. And there was in a couple lobby chats, too. He got up and stood up and started, putting the camera on his hip.
Yeah, because he appreciates the fact that I made that by hand for him out of love and care.
Well, if it makes you feel better, in a couple of months I'll actually be home, and I'll be able to check out your holster a little bit better.
Smeggy, you haven't even checked it out yet? You were like home for Christmas, flew out?
Well, I checked it out, but my gun was not at home, so I couldn't check the fit on it or anything.
Aw,
I wore the belt around with the mag pouch and the holster on and everything. That was nice.
Oh, man. Where'd you fly to?
I'm in St. Louis.
Well, damn, you need a full rig in St. Louis. Why aren't you carrying that?
Because he took a plane.
I don't know.
And he left the chat. Smeggy, what the hell, man? We're not done yet.
Oh, damn it, Smeggy.
Smeggy's always letting us down.
Just like Frosty the Snowman, he just melts away at the worst possible time. Spring comes.
No, he probably dropped out.
So, Night Strike,
What's up?
what did one...
He's back.
Oh, he's here. Okay, so we got to wait for him. Okay. Smeggy, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so what did one snowman say to the other snowman?
I don't know what.
You smell carrots or something?
Wow, that's bad.
That's my snowman joke.
It's almost as bad as some of my jokes, and I've got some bad ones.
I bet I could beat you in a joke off of bad jokes.
No, I'm gonna throw one out here since we're gonna end it in a minute or so. Okay, what's a Russian's least favorite type of cheese?
No idea what.
Sargento.
Do you smell carrots or something?
I'm trying to connect Sargento with anything. Is that something horrible?
Look at the spelling on the side chat.
Yeah, I still don't understand what that means.
Instead of Sargento, Zargento, because the Russians killed the Tsar.
Oh, that's
Sargento was a thing.
That's an 80-year-old bad joke. Thank you.
I know. But anyways, I told you they were bad.
I was thinking the punchline would have been government cheese.
No, that's Yankees' least favorite cheese.
So, Night Strike, what's the worst tasting Jello shot?
I don't do Jello shots.
But what's the worst tasting one?
I don't know. What is the worst tasting Jello shot?
The one Bill Cosby makes you, and then you wake up with that tasting.
Wow, I hadn't. We're gonna have to end it here. I hadn't figured.
On that note, let's
Made
steal
that
it.
up off the top of my head.
All right.
Let's get that shit up.
All right. You know what? I'll do one more. As I told you, my jokes are completely bad, but
Yeah, don't leave on a high note. Let's bring the room back down before we leave.
I got to bring you down back to my level. Hey, Smeggy,
What?
you hear about that new broom?
No.
It's sweeping the nation.
What's it called?
No, that was the joke. Oh,
Huh?
hold on.
I don't get.
There we go. All right. Thank you all for listening to Hit or Miss. I want to thank Nathan for showing up.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank Smeggy for jumping in and out during the chat.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm hit or miss.
You definitely are. More on the miss than the hit. But hey, that's what the show is. And I'm Night Strike. Thanks for listening.